We trust the great shepherd. We will follow the leader. Your sheep know your voice. We won't follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. We will not follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. We will not follow another. Your sheep know your voice. We won't follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. We won't follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. We won't follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. We won't follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. We will follow the leader. Your sheep know your voice. We won't follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. We will follow the leader. Your sheep know your voice. We won't follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. For you are our shepherd. Your sheep know your voice. We won't follow a stranger. Your sheep know your voice. For you are our great shepherd. You are the shepherd. You are the shepherd. You are the shepherd. You are the shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. I'm not lacking in anything. No, the Lord is my shepherd. I am not in need of anything. The Lord is my shepherd. I won't follow a stranger. The Lord is my shepherd. I won't follow a stranger. The Lord is my shepherd. I won't follow a stranger. The Lord is my shepherd. I won't follow a stranger. I won't follow.
Let's go.
Bringing you nothing but hits
Come on, play that song.
after hits.
Come on, DJ, play that song.
This is KLRJ Jam OKC 86 Radio. Get locked in and stay locked in. This is the Conservative as Christ Show.
Welcome to the Conservative as Christ Show with LJ and the Wretch. Today is Friday, October 18th, 2024. It is another beautiful day our Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. What is good with your brother?
Oh man, you know, I came in thinking. Well, I was thinking about you last night. 2-5. So let me tell you about that quarterback, man. Rattler, he's good, and we had him here at OU, and I was at the game, at the TCU game, when the crowd roared. It's like we scored a touchdown when they announced Caleb Williams as the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So he didn't look all the way terrible, but yeah, I got some problems. And the Cowboys have been blown out 3 times this year.
Yeah.
One by the Saints.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man. I started the season super enthusiastic, man. That 2-0 start, and I was like, yeah, but I think I found out who the bad team in the NFC South is, man, and it might be us right now.
Worse than the Carolina Panthers?
No, we're not. We're not, and the future is still bright. He's a backup for a reason right now. You know, he'll have time to grow, but. You know what I'm saying? I'm in here flying the colors because you know that's what you do, man. I'm still proud, and always, man, keep praying for all the saints. That's biblical. So we're gonna keep praying the season to turn around. We'll turn the season around.
Yeah, 5 losses. So I mean, is it 5 straight losses?
Yeah, we started out 2-0. We started out 2-0, man. Yeah, man. It's just, we dropped the 5. We dropped the 5. Yeah. It's not good.
That's bad.
It's not good at all. It's not good at all. Yeah. But no, it's the season, man. It's football. You know.
Yeah. Give us a call 405-267-3905. Email us at thejamokc86@gmail.com. It is jamokc86@gmail.com. October 25th. Doors open at 8 p.m. Free pizza. Free Hideaway pizza.
Okay.
Thanks to I forget the name of the church. I forget the name of the church all the time. Praise Without Walls Church. I think that's what they're called. I have to ask Kendron. But they donated us some gift cards for the pizza. So we're gonna have free Hideaway pizza for the next 2 open mic nights. So free pizza, free drinks. If you want to sign up and perform, whether you're singing, rap, dance, poetry, or you just want help learning how to public speak, you just want some practice on that, come out.
Or just come out for the fellowship, fam.
Come out for the fellowship.
Yeah, if you don't want to do any of that, you just want the fellowship. It's good fellowship up in there.
Yeah, come out for the fellowship. 1015 North Broadway, Coffee Slingers, 1015 North Broadway, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73112. That is the location. Mars Coleman. Mars Coleman will be the featured artist. If you have not heard of Mars Coleman, here he is.
For you. So come.
Yeah, Mars Coleman. He is a great worship artist, great worship leader at Victory Family Church, and he's a great man of God. You don't want to miss him. 8 p.m. Sign-ups is now open mic night at Coffee Slingers. Next Friday night, my daughter's birthday, October 25th. So, yeah, that's be there, be square.
Be there, be square. Your daughter's at the age she wants the pony. She's still at that pony age.
Wants the ponies?
Yeah.
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 She just, matter of fact, she just lost some ponies because she decided to talk a little crazy to her parents. So we had to.
That
was her mama's idea.
Don't put it out.
That was her mama's idea.
Don't put it out there on the air. Don't put it out there on the air.
That was her mama's idea. She gonna get her back though.
Yeah.
Mama's not gonna allow those ponies to be gone forever. So, is it all about the Benjamins? Should you be giving money to the poor? Should we be giving money to the poor? Does it help you as a Christian? Does it help you as far as tithing goes? You know, are you supposed to tithe, or are you supposed to does tithing and giving money to the poor, are they equal? Well, Mr. Kenyon Henderson, he's a pastor. I don't know what church it is that he pastors, but he's been in the news, the social media news here lately about some things that he said about giving to the poor. He made a sermon. It's entitled All About the Benjamins, and he said this.
You ain't got nowhere to go. Sit down. No. I'm going to put you on blast. Sit down. This is how the devil keep tricking us up. And here's the other problem with the church is that anytime a person is in need, y'all go to running and dropping money. But let me tell you something, the poor will be with you always. And there is no blessing connected to blessing the poor other than getting back what you gave to them, but no multiplication. Multiplication is segregated for tithes and offering. When you give to the poor, the only thing you do is help them, but you don't help yourself. So when you give $1 to somebody on the street talking about I did my job, God like, thank you, but it ain't gonna help you. Read your Bible.
Somebody said it's good teaching.
Charity does not bring wealth. Only the tithe does that. Matter of fact, you don't believe me? Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna preach on it. Help me in this house, Lord, because they done lost their Holy Ghost, but it's me and you. Oh, and by the way, for those of y'all like, why he talking to us like that? Okay, go to your Bible and look at verse 30 and 31 of chapter 42. The Bible says, when they returned back to Jacob, the son...
30 and 31 of what? 30 and 31 of what?
You know what I'm saying? Maybe. All right, man. All right, let it go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to figure out of what.
I don't know. I don't know. But maybe he's gonna come back and tell us. And I want.
Well, because this is in the middle of the sermon, so maybe in the beginning of the sermon he said we're in this book.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Said the man talked to us harshly. Because see, some folk you can't talk too nice. I've been talking nice for 14 years. I got my dukes up now. I'm swinging. Up, down, left, right, hook, cross. Because you ain't listening to nothing else. I'm tired of praying for what $1 will get you out of. I can't trick God into blessing you if you don't tithe. The Bible says the tithe rebukes the devil, not my prayers. Now, if you connect your tithe with my oil.
When the Bible said that? When the Bible said the tithe rebukes the devil?
That's why I wanted to see the whole thing. I waited for him to show us in the Bible when he's like.
Family, we saw this clip like maybe last week for the first time, but it was just a clip, and we were like, it wouldn't be fair to get on here and just play that one little clip without giving him the full context, and because he said he was going to preach on it, and to not let him preach on it. And so far, he has not preached on it. He's still just talking. Like, well, where does the Bible say the tithe will rebuke the devil?
I don't know. I'm waiting. Let's see if he's gonna. Let's see if he's gonna say. Let us know in the Bible where to find some of this stuff that he's saying. You know.
I'm gonna keep your foot on the gas. Watch this. Watch what he says. He says, when they get there, they said, Dad, the dude over the bread said that we got to bring Benjamin back. Daddy said, nah, you ain't getting Benjamin because you ain't handle Simeon right, you ain't handle Joseph right. Every time I give you a son, they don't come back. Nope, I'm keeping them. He says, Dad, we
okay, time out.
You know where he's at?
Yeah, Paul. So right now, and he didn't tell us, but right now he's talking about when they went back from Egypt, because you know Joseph was in Egypt,
yeah,
and they didn't recognize him, and so he was like, hey, I want to see my brother, my baby brother. Go back home to your father and get my baby brother. Yeah. And when he went back, you know, Israel was like, Jacob was like, nah, I'm not sending my son, because you know he did not say, every time I sent my sons, they die. But he said, no, I'm not sending my son. I already lost one son, because he was talking about Joseph. And I don't want to lose this son. This is the last son from, you know, the wife I love. But so that's what he's talking about now. This has nothing to do with tithes, though, family. Like, nothing to do with tithes. All right. I kind of follow him, I guess. He didn't give us a scripture, but I guess we can kind of follow.
I'm not following him.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about right there. But he's not.
I'm not following the connection.
There's no connection to tithe. No connection to tithe.
And the giving to the poor.
And giving to the poor. And there's definitely not going to be a scripture that said the tithe rebukes the devil. It's definitely not going to be a scripture. I promise you, family. You can read the whole Bible. You're not going to see that.
The Lord's house, it'll rebuke the devil.
Throw your money in the air. What stays in the air belongs to God. What falls to the ground belongs to me. I heard
You see
somebody say
everything,
that.
Donna?
That's comedy. I heard somebody say that before, man. That's comedy, but that's what this sounds like. That's what this sounds like.
Around here? He'd rather starve with Benjamin. This is how you know you got an issue. That you would rather starve. What you gonna do with Benjamin if you're dead?
What do Elma, Jimmy, and
So he is he tying all about the Benjamins to Benjamin, the son Benjamin? Is that what he doing?
I'm almost about to turn this off because this is almost a comedy skit
It is a comedy
at
skit.
this point.
It is a comedy skit.
This is not even no theological foundational correctness in here. It's just almost comedy.
Family, when preachers talking, we got to learn how to be quiet when they say something, like, because the way churches are, it's almost like a call and response. A preacher say something and somebody got to amen it. When they say something that doesn't have any biblical standing, you ain't got to amen
but
that.
you don't
can just
know
be
that
quiet.
if you don't read your word, though. You don't know what doesn't have any biblical standing if you don't read your word. You don't know to question things. Bible says test the spirits, but you don't know to question things if you don't read your word yourself. You don't study to show yourself approved. You just don't know to question some things. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds real good.
Nah, man.
I was in last time we was at Transformation Church. Michael Todd said, "Sometimes he said this is my sermon. This is what God is telling me. Sometimes you got to make God move. Y'all need to make God move." And me and my wife looked at each other like, "What? What did you say?" But it was so many amens and yes, Lord, so many of them because it sounds good. It sounds good to a person that just doesn't read the Bible, study it, and like try to apply it to their life at all. Really, they just come to church because that's what they think they need to do in order to get a blessing, in order to feel righteous. That's what they think they need to do. But when somebody says something like things that he's saying or what Michael Todd said, it's people that actually read the word and kind of know what the word says, how to divide, the word and everything. We know what's out of whack. Like, oh man, that don't sound right. Let me at least go look at that. Look and see what you're talking about. But there's certain things where you just know. Come on, brother. Now, if you were to say this is not the word talking, this is me talking. My pastor does this all the time. That's why I respect him. And I listen to everything. I love his sermons, and I see him as a good mentorship as far as the word and everything, because he'll tell you when it's not him. He'll tell you when it is him, and he'll tell you when it's not him.
Yeah.
But I don't. But yeah, you gotta. Good luck. Good luck with that. Tell him to be quiet. Good luck.
All right, man. Just let me see if you're gonna come out of it. Just a little. Just give him a chance. Just a little more time, because he might tie it all together, man. He might.
If you don't release Benjamin, you and Benjamin will die. Watch what he said. He said, Dad, he said, we got to bring Benjamin back. Kirk, he said, we got to bring Benjamin back to prove to the man over the bread. They still don't know it's their brother. To prove to the man over the bread that we're not spies. Translation. We have to bring Benjamin back to prove to him that we are good people. Okay. What is wrong with you? This is what I would have said to them. How you gonna prove to the man you threw in the pit, who heard your conversation as you were walking away from him? We gonna tell daddy that an animal ate him up. We gonna tell daddy we don't know what happened. He's in the pit listening to this. Here they are trying to convince.
So he's saying if he's Joseph, if he's Jacob, he would have told his sons, no, you can't bring Benjamin back because he already said they didn't know it was his brother. And at that point in the story, Jacob didn't know it was Joseph either. He's saying something that he would do off of hindsight of reading the whole Bible. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna come out of this, man. I don't think he's gonna turn this around. I don't think this connects at all.
We tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. We did, but yeah, I don't think there's no connection. I think that's just and Jamal Bryant actually came out and corrected him. I think I had it up here earlier, but he came out and actually corrected him. For Jamal Bryant to do out of all people, but 'cause normally Jamal Bryant don't get into stuff like that. But
yeah, I don't. Finally, what I'll say this on his preaching of tithing and the poor will always be with you. People like to quote that Jesus said the poor will all be with you, and those people who Jesus was talking to, the poor was always with them. You know, like that's not necessarily a command I take from Jesus. The poor is going to always be with me, so I got to give this tithe to the church so it can rebuke the devil.
Here it is.
And I got to clear something up. It is a blessing when you do something for the poor. It's a blessing when you do something for the poor. The Bible says that when you give to the poor, it is as if you are lending to. And I got to clear something up.
That's another thing. He started off with there's no lasting blessing when given to the poor, but there's the passage where Jesus talks about, you know, when you gave to the poor, when you did this for the least of these, you was doing that for me. And those were the people who were in heaven. You know, it's like, so you're telling me there's no eternal or no lasting reward for it, and you're contradicting Jesus, man. I don't know where he's going with that. I would love to talk to him though. I would love to talk to him and
he doesn't seem like somebody that's just trying to get some money from the people at his church.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem like that type of person, but his words says something totally different.
Yeah, and his sermon was wild, man. I can't say that about his whole sermon. The part I saw, I didn't agree with anything he said.
All right, so now we got this clip about black voters in America, black male voters. And so Barack Obama came out, and I think he was in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh or something like that. And he basically said he's disappointed in the black men because the numbers aren't looking good as far as voting for Kamala. And CNN had Shelley Winters on and some other guy to talk about it. But what they talking about is Trump said if minorities are not voting for him, they should have their head examined. Or he just said people in general. I don't know, but we'll watch this clip and see.
About an issue near and dear to both of your hearts, the issue of black Americans and Latino voters. Kamala Harris has been doing interviews on black media. Trump, though, is overperforming in polling with both groups compared to past Republicans. Here is what he said when he was campaigning in Pennsylvania.
Any African American or Hispanic, and you know how well I'm doing there, that votes for Kamala, you got to have your head examined, because they are really screwing you. They are really screwing you.
It is Kamala, for the record, but he is denigrating voters for making a choice that he does not like. Shelley, to you, what does he achieve with this?
Well, first of all, how is he denigrating voters?
He's saying that they are being, for lack of a better word, screwed.
Taken advantage of. They're being taken advantage of. They're paying higher pricing. They're working class, the ones that he's talking about, working class, lower middle class. They're paying more for food, they're paying more for gas, and they're being taken advantage of.
But
and
Shelley,
over the course of 30 years, they voted.
He also said that they had to have their head examined. That is not something that is a compliment.
Obama just told me the same thing. Obama just told me the same thing.
He did
I've
not
got
use
black
those
women
words.
telling me I'm not really he inferred them. He implied them. He certainly did. He even threatened us with, "You're lucky Michelle's not here." I mean, come on. Let's not make things up. Let's be honest here, and let's really be clear what's being said. If you're an African-American man, look, let me boil this election down in the African-American community to a very simple a reference to great Malcolm X. This race is between House African-Americans and field African-Americans. And the field African-Americans
Wow.
are going for Donald Trump. I'm talking about your men who build, your men who put things together, your men who work with their hands, your men who do things, not the men who push paper, or the men who are connected to power and want to continue to be connected to power.
Are you denigrating
African
African American men who are professionals who work in white collar jobs? Is that what I'm hearing from you, or
no?
I'm just trying to understand, is Shelley the House one or the field one? I'm just trying to understand that part. I'm just trying to understand. We have someone who's spitting. I'm just trying to understand the one that's spitting talking points right now. Are you the House Negro or the field Negro that you're referring to? So I just want to make sure your question was about denigrating black people. That literally was your question. You have a Republican fool who is talking right now about. You literally just said that black men. You actually just said this is an election about House or field. This is the nonsense that we are listening to right now by those that are supporting Donald Trump.
Not what I said,
that is actually what you just there's only clearly you must be in your own talk. I'm not sure what kind of radio show you have that you can't listen to your own thing. So you actually just said
for Trump.
Again, do you understand? You sound absurd and silly. And so let's actually talk about the substance of your question. The substance of the question was around denigrating. The substance of the question was denigrating black and Latino communities.
Sir, the substance of what I said is very clear.
My name is Michael. My name is Michael. And we thank you that. So the point here, the question that was raised around denigrating black and Latino communities.
All right, my brother, let me answer the question.
Are you going to
let me answer the question?
The concerning part.
Are you going to let me answer the question?
Shelley, you made the point saying that you made a point saying that you believe that
the point I'm making, ma'am, Sarah. The point I'm making is this: the men who get up every day and make things happen with their hands, they build things. They're plumbers, they're electricians, they're working for Amazon. These men who are coaching 7 and under football, not because their son or daughter plays, but because they want to keep brothers off the streets and they're volunteering their time. These men are going for Trump. These men, and I used an analogy made famous by the great Malcolm X. So if you're saying that I'm denigrating anybody, then you must assume that he was denigrating somebody. So don't even throw that word out there again, my brother.
So Michael,
the fact of the matter is that's what you're seeing in the black community.
Shelley,
so I'm not denigrating anybody.
We have heard the filibuster now. So the point yesterday.
I answered your question.
That's the end of the clip?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I listened to his, I looked him up, and he's on a terrestrial talk station in Atlanta. He comes on 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., and I listened to his show yesterday, and he did talk about the conversation that he had on CNN. I guess he got an email basically saying, yeah, thanks for coming on, but they didn't tell him yes or no about coming back. It's more like, it sounded like, well, we'll think about it type of deal, but
well, he did.
That was his like third time on the CNN, I think. But he did talk about some things that he should have done better. Like he should have let the guy talk more. That's what I was thinking when I was listening to it too. Like, we'll just let him, be cutting him off, whatever. But I feel to me that's one of those quiet part out loud things. But when you look at the reason, because what they're doing, the Democrats, they're trying to figure out why. Why is, and it didn't start, and Stephen A. Smith said this, it didn't start with Trump. As far as the black vote, the black male vote, it didn't start with Trump. It started from 2008, okay? In 2012, I think it was 8%, okay? In 2016, it was 12% as far as the black vote for the Republicans. In 2020, it was 21%. Okay, now it's 30%. So for Barack Obama to come at the black males now as if this has been a trend. This has been a trend. So, and right now they're trying to figure out why is that. Well, Shelley I think what he laid out is actually true. It's just the fact that it's the quiet part out loud, and it's how dare you say something like this? You know what I'm saying? How dare you say that? You may be thinking it, but you bet not. You shouldn't say this. But that's to me, when I think about the black male vote and why it's different, especially in these big cities. That's the differences of who's voting Republican, who's not voting Republican. Because some of those dudes may just stay out too, but the 30% is for Trump right now. And I don't know why they coming at black males. I was told that they vote with black women, but I guess not. But I don't know.
So, man, it was a lot there. First, dude was spitting some hot foolishness about the house in the field. That and the question she asked in follow up was a great follow up question, and the question the other guy asked, like, so which one are you? You know, are you house or are you field? You know what I'm saying? Because you're a radio show host, bro. You're not out there. You're not plumbing. You know what do you think? What do you think this is? So. I think that was a foolish framing of the question. Even if you want to say that, I think more working class people are going over to Donald Trump. And then when they're talking about the black vote. And so that's another thing. Trump doesn't have a majority of the black vote. He doesn't have this all wellspring of all black men are voting for Trump. It's just more than other Republicans. And
it's a trend too, over a span of 12 years.
Well, it's a trend since 2016 when Trump started running for president.
It's a trend since 2008. Actually, the number has increased since 2008 of black people voting for Republicans.
So in 2008, I'm sure the majority of the black men voted for Barack Obama.
Yeah, 95%. He got 95% of the black vote.
And after 2008, after those 4 years, when they looked and see like a lot of people felt like, okay, yeah, Obama was in office and it was still more the same, and so that probably fell from 2008 to 2012. Am I right? I don't know the numbers.
Well, the numbers went up. So
right,
8%, 12%. 20%, and then now it's 30%.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. And the reason why is because Trump is not your typical Republican. At least he don't talk like a typical Republican. So some of the things that Trump say, it appeals to people. But Trump governs just like every other Republican. And the people who are paying attention to that knows that, which is why he doesn't have the majority of the black vote. He has more of a percentage who are just listening to his talking points. If you pay attention to what Trump does, he's just like every other Republican. And if you didn't like what the Republicans was doing when you was voting for Obama, you won't like what the Republicans are doing now. Actually, Trump is doing, you know me, I know what's in Project 2025, and I know that's exactly what Trump wants to do, regardless of what he says. I don't listen to what he say. I look at what he does. And so I think that whole premise
is wrong.
Yeah, we've had that conversation before. But yeah, so I think that they're trying to, what they're trying to do is they're trying to blow it out of proportion. Like Trump has this wellspring of overwhelming support from of black voters, and it's just not that. He has more of a percentage than other Republicans have, but he doesn't have the most. And the reason why he has that is because he's a different type of Republican than, you know, the normal. Like he's not a Reagan Republican. You know, he doesn't talk like a Reagan Republican, but he governs just like a Reagan Republican. And that's which is why, well, the reason why you don't have my vote is because I believe what he did in January 6th was an insurrection, and like I say, I feel like that disqualifies you. But yeah, man, it's that.
Oh, so that's because of people like you. That's why they keep trying to bring that question up in debates. Because I feel like it's just a waste of time. And then actually, and when they did the exit interviews with the independents on like MSNBC, well, what did you think about January 6th? I don't care about. I mean, it happened, but
all right. So this is the gotcha question they ask every Republican. I'm gonna ask you: did Trump lose the election in 2020? not a question you got to think about, man. He's not the president right now. Yes, he lost. You can say that.
He lost.
You can say that. Yeah. Was the election stolen?
See, but they don't do that though. They want the Republicans to say no, he didn't lose because it was stolen. They don't give the other option. Okay, I can say technically he lost. Yes, he lost. He's not the president anymore.
All right. Do you think
the same thing JD Vance said?
All right. So so that's why the follow-up question: do you think it was stolen?
I think it was some irregularities. Yeah.
Do you know how many cases that Trump brought up to judges who he appointed, and those judges said, "Man, get this foolishness out of here. You lost."
A lot. Yeah.
It was a lot. It was. I don't know the exact number, but family, if you Google it, it was a lot. No, the election was not stolen. He just lost.
Do you believe Project 2025 is Trump's plan?
I know it's Trump's plan.
Okay, because
I know it's Trump's
because
plan.
you've seen video evidence of the guy talking, right?
Because we showed you on this show, we showed you video evidence of the guy behind the scenes saying, "Yeah, man, we're kind of, like Trump is distancing himself from it in public, but in private, he's all for it. And in fact, now we're taking heritage off of the memos. We're not sending these. It's all going to be private. This is the second thing. Yes, man. That this one to deny that makes you lose credibility in everything else you say, bro. And some things you say are good things, but when you won't admit that fact, it makes people look at you like, man, how you gonna not admit this obvious truth right here?
Because CBS didn't admit it. They put the deal on that you showed me, and they came out and said that's not true. He's not. Project 2025 is not his plan. Secondly, there's video evidence of ballot chases, of ballot harvesting, of ballot people messing with ballot boxes on documentaries.
Why did all those judges, again, and these are Trump-appointed judges, why did all those judges say,
they're not all Trump-appointed judges.
Why a lot of them were. Why did they say,
not in Pennsylvania.
Why did they say, nah, man, you lost, man? So why if yeah, I don't why, that's my question. If it was stolen, if it was so many in that, why not one judge was like, he didn't win one case, he lost them all? How is that? Like,
that's just not the gotcha that I think it is.
Okay, so let's move past that. In this election right here, let's say the unthinkable happens and Trump loses.
I don't think that's unthinkable. I think that you got a lot of the Democrat is a machine, man. She got the media. She did horrible in the View. She was horrible. Charlemagne, the devil. I don't call nobody God. She was horrible. Okay, Brett Baer, the interview, horrible. After all those things, CNN, MSNBC, Roland Martin, everybody that's on the left. Oh, she did such an excellent job. She stood her ground. She stayed on policy. She just, oh my God, she was so presidential. She had a cool, calm, collected attitude. It's a machine. So I'm not putting nothing in the bag.
My point is, if Trump loses,
yeah,
do you think he's going to say the election was stolen?
Depends on what happens.
He's going to say that if Trump loses, he's definitely going to say the election was stolen.
Well, I think if she loses, she's going to say the same thing. She's going to say the same thing as Hillary said.
Once
she's already talking about that now.
Did Hillary Clinton was there an insurrection after Hillary Clinton lost? Did anybody storm the White House?
There was 100 arrests at a protest outside of the inauguration.
Was there an insurrection where they stormed the White House after Hillary Clinton lost?
No.
Okay. Do you think if Kamala Harris loses, there's going to be an insurrection where people storm the White House?
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot of upset, the same upset people that was doing the riots in summer 2020. It's going to be, it may be riots all over the country.
If Trump loses, do you think there's going to be an insurrection at the White House or something like? No. You don't think so at all. You know that for a fact.
I think the Republican Party has learned its lesson, but I don't think it's going to be one.
Project 2025 is to prove that the Republican Party learned their lesson. They're trying to change the Constitution, but my thing is, because for the simple fact that Trump still won't admit that he lost the election. His vice president won't admit he lost the election, and they're already laying the groundwork for if they lose this election, it was stolen. And this is why.
So is Kamala.
And this is why January 6th for me is so dangerous, because if you believe the commander, because at that time he was the commander in chief, if you could believe the commander in chief when he says, "Hey, this was stolen, they're preventing our democracy," and you go out there and fight for that, you think you're doing something for the country when you're not doing something for the country. You're doing something for Trump, and a lot that will deceive a lot of people. What are you prepared to do if they lose, if the Republicans lose? Are you gonna?
Nothing.
You just gonna?
Because I live in Oklahoma.
And so, because you live in Oklahoma, you're not. And
that's another thing people just don't understand. Like, Tommy Johnson is going to win the sheriff back. Okay, now Jason Lowe might win the county commissioner because this is a blue city. Now that's going to be two people going head to head at odds all the time. But Tommy Johnson going to win the sheriff. We still got Stitt. We still got Ryan Walters. We still got majority of GOP in our House and Senate. So we're going to keep that. Now they need to change the rules up.
All that was true on January 6th, and that didn't stop January 6th from happening.
No, this is me. Okay. Like, I was at work and we heard about that.
They had people from Oklahoma City at January. There were people from Oklahoma City there. There were people
but it was thousands of people. There was thousands of people at that rally, and only a few people went. Only like hundreds of people went in. It was not the majority of people at that rally that went into that Capitol. And if you look at Republicans, most Republicans say if you broke into the Capitol and like broke doors and stuff and all like that and damaged equipment, you should go to jail. You get what you deserve. Most conservatives say that. Now, you may find like Alex Jones or somebody saying, "Yeah, I don't care who it was," Yeah, I took a picture with the Viking guy, Jacob. He's because he just went in there. I think he stood on the step of the Speaker of the House where she stands, and he took a picture. But no, if you actually went in there and you damaging federal property, no, you should be arrested and all that stuff. Now, if you just walked in because the Capitol Police just open the door, let you walk in, no, you shouldn't be, because that's actually what happened.
Have you heard the term fake elector scheme? The fake electors. Have you heard about that? There's
I think I heard something in Arizona.
No, it was.
But they got overturned.
It was part of Trump's plan to steal the election. He had fake electors to not certify, and if Mike Pence would have signed off on it. The reason why Mike Pence isn't the vice president right now is because Mike Pence was like, "Nah, man, we lost." He was ready. Mike Pence was ready to do the handshake line. We lost. Let's do the handshake line. Trump was like, "Nah, we fighting." Mm-hmm. Don't move you at all. Don't move you at all.
No, you up by 85% of the votes are counted in Pennsylvania, and then overnight, all of a sudden, Joe Biden takes the lead. Come on, that's just that Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. It's just, and this man was in the basement the whole time. Didn't do any type of. This is what Kamala probably should have did, but she may still win. But this dude, he didn't do any type of. Now the debate, Trump lost the debate. He it looked like he was being mean to the old man on the debate, talking over him and stuff. But no, man, this is. I think it's just trying to figure out how in the world did the country select this person. That's not even remote. But it was, for me, I predicted he would lose before it even happened because of COVID. I just feel like he wasn't running a good campaign. But I just felt like he wasn't speaking to COVID enough. The reason of the economy crashing or going bad or whatever, I think that he just didn't speak to it good enough. And it was a lot, the mainstream media. I was watching Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy was my show, man. they was talking Grey's Anatomy, This Is Us, a lot of shows that's like really like popular and stuff. They was talking about how bad COVID is, and they was connecting it to the president because they was using a character that was Trump or something like that. But the whole country was on this COVID thing, and then they didn't like his press conferences. You know, he did one every day. Okay, they didn't like him getting into it with Jim Acosta and other people like that. So I predicted he would lose because of COVID, and that's why Joe Biden said, "I'm just going to stay in the basement."
The reason why Trump did bad,
and he pushed the vaccine, and a lot of Republicans don't want the vaccine. They still upset at him for that.
Yeah, and that the reason why Trump did bad during that time and he didn't get reelected is because, like I said, he don't talk like a normal Republican. But when COVID happened and it's time to start governing, he governed like a Republican. And Republicans have a hard time helping the people. And during COVID, we needed to help the American people. Businesses didn't need help during COVID. The American people needed help. And it's hard, and Republican policies rarely, if at all, help the American people.
They got it. Unemployment was 2 years after. We're still going 2 years after COVID. You got the stimulus checks, and you got unemployment, and you got money if you had a child on top of that. So they got it.
They eventually they came around to doing it, and then the first chance they got, they stopped all that. They cut it off because this is what they said. They was like, we can't keep giving these people assistance because the assistance that
Joe Biden cut it off.
No, it was set. Joe Biden didn't cut it.
But
it was
you had to cut it off.
No. Let me tell you how it worked. The rescue plan, whatever it is they put it, they enacted, had an expiration date, and when it was time to renew it, every Republican voted against renewing it. And the reason why they voted against it is your boy Byron Donalds said it. He was like, they were like, wait,
inflation.
He calls it inflation,
Larry Summers calls it inflation too.
But then what he actually said was, if we keep giving them this assistance, some of them are getting more than they were making for going to work. Why would we do that? We're basically paying them to stay home. That's what Byron Donalds said.
Why would you do that?
Well, if people need the assistance. You could do one or two things. If people need the assistance and that assistance is more than what they make for going to work.
The majority of the country did not need to stay at home. The jobs were opening back up so you can go back to work.
There's one or two things that can happen here. So right now we're giving people assistance because we said they need it. Now the assistance that they're getting, they're making more than what they were making than when they was going to work. So we're just going to cut that off. What you can do is
when the economy opens back up,
or you could raise their wages. You know what I'm saying? The government assistance you're getting, it shouldn't be like this assistance. Like now, that's how they cut childhood poverty by 50%, almost eliminated because of the tax credit. Both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump right now, and J.D. Vance the mostly talks about this. His plan for the childhood tax credit. All this stuff they're trying to bring back is stuff that they already had that Republicans cut because they voted not to renew it. And now they're saying, okay, we're going to give that back to you now. Like, again, Republicans have a hard time governing for the people. And when they explain their plans are always very pro-business and trickle-down economics. Again, Reagan. Regardless of what Trump says, he's going to govern like a Republican, and Republicans govern with trickle-down economics. And it's been like that since the birth of the country, and it hasn't gotten any better. He says they need their head examined for voting not for him. We would need our head examined for voting for him. That's how I feel. The problem with the other side is
voting for the other side for 30 years.
Well, that's the thing. That's the problem with the other side. Is not a good option either. None of them work for us. Like a point was made about action committees in AIPAC, how AIPAC gives equally to both sides. Why would they do that? Because both sides are for pro-business. Both sides are pro. Well, AIPAC is Israel, but
why don't the teachers unions give to independents?
Let's have teachers on and ask them that. You know what I'm saying? They should. They should. But what party are unions more in line with?
I don't know because Trump has some unions behind him. Right
some, but the majority of unions are behind the Democrat Party because unions they care about their people, they care about their workers, and so unions are gonna vote for the party who cares more about the people. Not to say that's a good party, that's the best party, but that's the only party. We only got two options. That's the party who does more for the people. That's just fact.
More for the people in way of high inflation.
So this is the thing. This is the thing about high inflation
because people don't ask where's this money coming from that you're trying to just give us? Where's it coming from?
This is another thing that Republicans do. They say so. This is again Byron Donalds on Kamala Harris's plan to give first time home buyers a $25,000. He said if you give first time home buyers $25,000. At that point, everyone who's selling houses or landlords, they're going to raise the price $25,000, and that's going to cause inflation. My question is, why do we allow that? Number one. But the second question is, my second response would be, not everybody's going to do it. And that's when you can see if we really have a free market, because the people who don't do that, they will get the business. And the people who do, they'll get priced out. Or they'll have to lower to come down. And again, if everybody does it at the same time, then that's not fair. That's not a fair market. If everybody says, hey, we're going to raise our price because we know these people can afford this, now we're going to raise it to that. And again, he says that without offering a solution on the other side. He just says that that's going to happen, and then he moves on to something else. So and you believe that too. So my question to you would be, okay, you don't want to give first time home buyers $25,000.
I don't believe that because I have rent homes. I believe that because people that have rent homes told me that that's what's going to happen.
Okay, so if you can't give people $25,000 to help them, what can you do for people?
Well, first of all, you got to have that money up front. That's not a student. That's not a grant. So that's you got to have $25,000.
No, she said no for the home. She said that it's going to be like a grant. They're going to give you that $25,000. They're going to give you that. The business thing, the $50,000 rebate. That's something else. You got to have the $50,000.
She said credit.
Right. Well, so either she extending credit and you might have to pay it back, but she's giving it to you. Either way, so you're gonna get it. The business thing for the $50,000, that's something that they're not giving it to you. You have to have it up front, and then at the end on your taxes, they'll give it back. The home is different. So again, the question is, if you're saying, no, don't give them the money for the home, don't give them credit for the home because all it's going to do is cause inflation, what do you want to do to help first-time home buyers?
Well, first of all, then let's go look at why would a bank deny people? Why do banks deny people of loans? Let's look at that. Because if you give me $25,000 so I can have down payment and I got $400 credit, is the bank still going to give me the house? So let's go and look and see, why is the bank denying people homes? Can we work something with the credit system? That's what I think you can do. Let's look at that first.
Okay, so you're gonna change the credit. What we're going to change the credit bureau?
Let's see why is because it's all on the banks.
Okay, so all right, so we changed that, and now the bank is willing to give loans, and they give the people the loan to buy the house. What's to stop them from still doing the exact same thing that you said? The reason why Kamala Harris shouldn't do it, from everybody raising the price another $25,000.
I understand it's gonna. Hey man, I was told by people that do this all the time, it's going to raise stuff up and it's going to raise inflation on the actual market of the housing. So I don't have rent houses. I don't have property. Yeah, so I don't. But I was told by people that actually got like 10, 20 properties, it's going to raise up the inflation of the market overall.
Because and the only reason it's being raised is for greed. Right, that's the underlying thing they're not saying.
You can mock greed up to everything.
Well, no, but I'm saying, but there's no material reason like, hey, my cost went up, so I have to raise the prices. It's just, I know you have more money now, so I'm raising the prices.
Yeah, because where's that money coming from?
Okay, so my question is, how do you stop that? What's the plan to fix that? That's going to always be a problem.
Plan to fix what?
The greed, basically. The plan to fix, like, if
you can't. I don't believe you can legislate greed.
Exactly. So what do you do? You do nothing, is what you're saying.
Do nothing.
Are you saying so?
Take right now they got regulations on people that have houses and have property and stuff that they got on them that's making it hard for the market to build. They need to take those off. That's what I would do first.
Again, helping to build it, because you're saying the houses are there. People saying they can't afford them. They don't have enough money. What are you going to do for that? What are you doing for those people? How do we fix that part?
Well, tell me if you want to just give money, you got to tell me where it's coming from.
Well, I'm telling you what Kamala Harris's plan is. Kamala Harris.
Well, she won't tell us where it's coming from. Who's paying for it?
Taxpayers are paying for it.
Okay, so that's why inflation is going to go up.
No, inflation.
the more money the government spends, just as far as just giving money to somebody, like grants, tax breaks on different things, tax exempt status and all. We have to pay for that, and then the more and more they spend to do those things, we got to pay for it.
Right. So again, my question is, how do you fix it?
How do I fix that?
Yeah. What is your plan to fix that? Because to tell me the problem and this thing might happen, again, I'm giving you so much here. I'm giving you your argument that everybody's going to raise their prices because you heard somebody say, and these people say they were, okay, let's say everybody does it.
Yeah.
How do you fix that? What do you do then?
First time home buyers, they had $8,000 when Obama was in there. So I was told that's still there. So I mean, right now that would help me. I'll be able to get into a house, but I mean, I just would hold off. I wouldn't do the $25,000. I've heard too many bad things about it. So, and I'm just not privy of with real estate to actually give a correct, the full body answer. Right. I know why I can't buy a house right now.
So,
but that ain't got nothing to do with the government. It's got something to do with Lawrence Johnson. So that ain't got nothing to do. I can't afford it because my own, behavior on my credit and stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody else.
All right. So okay. So the plan to help people by giving first-time home buyers $25,000, that's out the window. We can't do that. What about raising wages? Can we raise wages?
Raise wages.
Yeah, raising wages.
Well, I agree with Byron Donalds. The actual what people out there making, they're not really making the $7. And there's some jobs that do pay that, but the majority of people out here, the workforce, is not making $7. Yeah, so I wouldn't raise the wage.
So it's another one down. Can't help people by giving them a loan to help start up. We can't raise their wages so they can just maybe have money to save so they can come up with it on their own. Again, maybe the loan option is better because then the government gets the money back. But then that's like the student loan. We'll be in the same predicament as the student loans. People don't pay it back. So I don't know if that's the best option, because I remember when the PPP loan was out, I had so many people because I was going to do it. I had so many people telling me do not do that because the interest rate on it is so high. I think if you do the loan, that's probably the best option because at least the government sort of gets the money back. And I don't know how long they'll give you to get the money back. You know what I'm saying? But because not every business is the same. It's going to have the same income and everything. But yeah, I see where you're going. Where you're going is what are you going to do to help the people? That's where you're going. That's always the question. And there's never an answer. There's always,
I said the credit thing.
We can't do this for this reason. And then they go move on to talk about the border.
No, I said, I said the credit system.
The credit. So
look at the credit system, look at the banks, because the reason why the rent's going up because the banks are raising the mortgage. Okay. The banks are raising, look at the banks, look at the credit system. Loan officers are not giving people loans for houses because they credit. Debt to income ratio. Now, the thing is, I truly believe it's more people out there like me than not that are just that are in a position they're in not to buy a house because my own doing. It ain't got nothing to do with the government. It ain't got nothing to do with the person down the street did this, or it ain't got nothing to do with somebody else over here got the money and I don't. It's because I had the money years ago, but I decided to do this with it. I didn't invest my money the correct way. I didn't save my money the correct way. I believe there's more people like that in this society than not. Now, it's easy. It's easy to blame somebody else if you don't really take responsibility. You don't take accountability. You know, because I don't think this society breeds self-accountability, self-responsibility. I think it's, hey, if I can blame somebody else, I'm going to do that. But there's nobody else's fault that I don't have a house. It's my fault.
So I'm not trying to pass blame or ask somebody to not take accountability for their actions. I'm saying the situation that we have right now is the situation where we have right now, where there are many people who are homeless or people who can't afford homes, and these people work jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like man, you one of the hardest working people I know. You know what I'm saying? Like it. So what does our government do to help people like that? And right now,
go have a conversation with the banks and the credit bureaus.
And in that conversation, so at the end of that conversation, what are you looking at?
Now, Obama did something like that, and it allowed people to get houses that weren't ready, you know, financially and everything. And they end up having to foreclose on the house. But if there's something they can do, I mean, that's something that they can open the door up to tell the banks, hey, I know your limit is $650, but it needs to be $4. You know, something like that. Like, hey, just make it $4. And let's do that. But
when you say make what for? Make what?
So $650 is the loan, your credit score. Your credit score.
No, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not out here advocating give a loan to somebody who has a 400 credit score. I'm not advocating that. That's not. That's what
I'm saying. I think it's more people. Now my score ain't no 400, but it's and I'm trying to get in a certain house too, so that's why I'm waiting. But some people will just get in a house. You know what I'm saying? But also it's education too. But anyway, I'm saying I think it's more people out there that they're just not financially stable to do it because of what they've done with their own decisions and all that stuff. And if you want to just get out there and just say, hey, government, give everybody $25,000 that's a first-time home buyer or doesn't have a house, you're going to find a lot of those people that has the 400 credit score. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find a lot of those people that has the 400 credit score, and they're going to get the $25,000 for the down payment. And then are they going to keep the house? Because this happened in Chicago, and a lot of those people foreclosed on their house because they just wasn't ready. You know, I want to get a house when I'm ready. You know, but I think they should go after the banks or have a conversation with the banks and the credit bureaus.
Banks and the credit bureaus.
But you can do that. You can give money to people that's just not. There's going to be a lot of people that's just not ready, and those houses are going to go on the market again, foreclose, and because some people are just not financially stable in their minds on how they think about money to have a house, because it's a lot of stuff that goes into property taxes and all and all this stuff. You got to pay that stuff, man. And then a lot of people don't know to go to the actual, you know, county meetings, the city school board meetings, and all that stuff, so they can see what they're paying for and all that. Then what happens if your water main breaks, or you're gonna dig up the lateral line, or you're gonna dig up the sewer, you know, to fix that. You know, it's some people are just not, and some people want to rent. I know a lot of people they just want to rent, but some people are just not ready to have a home.
Yeah, for those people, fine. They're not ready, but there are a lot of people who are, and they just need a little. Just
maybe
need
it's
little help.
Just don't
little help.
I guess maybe just don't make it some requirements that like it weaves out the people that's just not ready. Like the VA, if you want to get a VA home loan, you have to have 2 years of no late payments on your rent. 2 years of no late payments on your rent. They don't go after credit score. They just see you have to have 2 years of no late payments on your rent, and you have to have 1 year of no late payments, period. Or else you can't get the VA home loan. Because you don't have to down payment with that. But there's requirements set to like weaves out who ain't got it together. You know, maybe. And to me, I wish if she would have come out. If I don't know if that's in there or not, but I feel like it is because the government just not gonna give money and don't have some type of requirements. You know, I think it should have came out and said, now we are gonna do this, but because what Byron Redondo is saying is gonna raise the inflation of the market and everything. But if she would come out and counter and say, well, we're gonna have requirements on this, and it's gonna weave out because you have to do that. So if they did that, yeah, that'll be better.
That'd be better. But I don't know how you stop the inflation if we're agreeing the inflation is greed, and then you also say and you can't legislate greed. See, I disagree. I believe you can legislate greed. I believe you can have a floor and be like, okay, that at this point that's too much. You know, you can't do that. But if you say you can't legislate greed, then and the greed is what's causing the inflation, and so you're not gonna and you don't want to do it because of the inflation. To me, I hear you don't want to do anything about it. And to your credit, I just said some things that I would do. Right. To your credit, you do that. Yeah. No Republican politician does that. They say that and then they go to the border. Or did they say that? Then they go to something else. You know. Well,
I'm just a radio host. That's more of along lines of a voter. I'm not a journalist, but they're actually in the Congress with the bills. So they're speaking from a term of they know what's behind all that money, where it's coming from, where it's being pulled from, and all that stuff. What code are they using? What section of the Constitution are they using? All that. Yeah. So I don't put that against them. You know, but yeah, that's what I would do. But some things that I say, some politicians be like, okay, yeah, I might. Just like the option for the reparation. You know, so
man, I don't want to be like I'm raining on a parade, man. And if people think that's a good idea, amen. You know what I'm saying? Let's rock with it. I can get behind, but I just think that's giving, like you're an American. You know what I'm saying?
It's giving an out to the white man. Just say it. Just say it.
I'm not saying it. It's definitely giving an out to the white man, but it's giving an out to everybody. It's giving an out to me. Like I say, I would pay like my taxes because reparations would come from our tax dollars, and I pay taxes.
Well, you would choose that option.
There's a difference. That's the man.
You want to choose the option. Choose the option.
That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like the idea. If the idea is reparations is going to be paid and it's going to be paid out of the American tax dollars, then yeah, I volunteer.
You're an American taxpayer.
And I'm an American taxpayer.
And it will be paid by the American tax dollars.
I will vote for that. But if you tell me it's only being paid by the Americans who check the box, then I'm saying, well, no, I ain't checking the box to pay myself. Like then I would say that, you know, it's different. But hey, I would love to see that option just to see how many people would. But I'm telling you,
how do you know for a fact? That is the biggest problem with all of that. Who gets it? And because there's gonna be some black folk that's gonna be like, wait, I'm black. I should get it. I'm black. No, your mama was over here doing this. Your daddy was over there doing that. So you don't get it.
That's going to be interesting too.
I think that's why the government as a whole, Newsom, Kamala Harris, and the rest of the people up there in Washington D.C. just stays away from it because of that.
I think they stay away from it because it's not popular. Like Keith was saying on Wednesday, it's not popular. He was saying, hey, like I'm the first Republican to this party, you know, but but it's not popular, and it is in politics is about popularity. You don't want to run on something that's not popular because it's going to cost you votes. That's why they're not doing it.
I think it's popular enough. I mean, she's been asked about it,
and she said she wouldn't do it. She said she wouldn't do it.
She said she would study it. Let's study, group study.
We don't need to study it, family. Amen. Family, this has been the Conservative as Christ show with LJ and the Wretch. We are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Until next time, keep in which